This talk is really about why. Why am I so excited about what's happening now? And good news is that this is a world premiere talk. I have never done this talk before, and in fact, at 4:30 this morning, I was still putting the finishing touches on the talk. That wasn't part of my original plan when I sent a new talk into FETC, but I've been really, really swamped. So you're at the premiere. So how do we handle the fact that in classrooms at every level of education and at every place, including Harvard, what happens inside of academic settings looks less like 21st century work and play than what happens outside of academic settings? So what makes me excited is Web 2.0. And I thought that the best source of what Web 2.0 means is a Web 2.0 thing, which is Wikipedia. Wikipedia talks about the fact that Web 2.0 is about creativity, collaboration, and sharing between users. So in a sense, one of those challenges is that now almost anything can be found down a line in less than a minute. It may be in 5 flavors, only one of which is accurate, 2 of which are wrong, and 2 of which are biased. So you have to be able to recognize which of what you find is correct or useful. But you can find things very quickly, and that opens up some opportunities, but also some challenges in terms of teaching and learning. The opportunity is that kids no longer have to learn some of the junk that I learned when I was growing up. I remember in school memorizing the state capitals. There is no reason now why anyone ever needs to do that. You can look it up in 15 seconds on the web, and it's not foundational for any kind of higher order knowledge. However, there's lots of other stuff in the curriculum that you can look up quickly on the web that is important to know. It's not just information. It's knowledge of a kind that's foundational for understanding the very complicated world that we live in. And kids don't really have a sense of which things fall into the sort of now useless category in terms of acquiring them personally, and which things are really vital. And because the curriculum is such a mishmash of those two, they quickly decide that their teachers and their legislature and the professors that the teachers had don't know what they're talking about, and so they just make their own judgments about what's useful and what's not, which isn't such a good situation because kids don't really have the background to make those judgments. I want to talk today about 10 flavors of Web 2. And I have chunked those into 3 groups. But I did that chunking about 4:46 this morning, and like most ways of dividing the world into 3 pieces, it falls apart the minute that you look at it very carefully. So don't think that these are wonderful, beautiful silos that represent completely different dimensions. It's a useful way of starting to chunk these things for thinking about them at least at the first level. And so there's now a whole set of interactive media that are effectively free, that are ways of empowering people individually and collectively to think, to create, and to share and do. And I've put them in that order because I think these build on one another. And the very last category that I want to talk about, the collaborative social change communities, is actually a way of taking everything above that and using it in very powerful ways. So this isn't sort of a list where there aren't interconnections between the things on the list. There are very rich kinds of interconnections between these things.